Senator, thanks for coming in. What's going on with this? Was an effort by Democrat Tim Kaine to assert the War Powers Act and say that if President Trump wants any further military action in Iran, as I understand it, he would have to come to Congress for a vote. Is that going to get voted down?
It is being voted down right now, and it's not really about war powers. It is about trying to be able to tie the hands of the president on this. The president of the United States has the capacity to be able to make a decision on the moment they have to make a decision to be able to protect American lives and to be able to make strategic decisions. So what President Trump was doing is not trying to start a war in Iran. He's not trying to insert troops. He's not trying to be able to have a protracted fight. He's trying to say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And he took a unique moment there when we knew Iran was getting close to weapons-grade uranium to be able to stop their program in its tracks and to be able to make it very clear to Iran, you're not going to restart because we still have your address. We could come again. And so that was a strategic moment in time. So this is more about embarrassing the president than it was really about an extensive battle on war powers.
So it looks like now we've got the tally. It's been voted down, as you suggested, 53 nays, 47 yes. Obviously needed 50 plus one. They're not going to get that if they fell short. What about the big, beautiful bill? A lot of people were anticipating a vote as early as 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. I know you went behind closed doors for lunch, I believe, with the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent as you work on some of the final details. This vote, as I understand it, is pushed till Saturday. Do you think the votes are there? Do you think you're going to move it forward in the Senate?
Yeah, we're not going to move forward till we know the votes are there and everybody's had time to be able to look at it and review it. Now, most of the bill has been out there for, quite frankly, more than 2 weeks. We've been releasing this a chapter at a time so everybody had time to be able to read it and review it because it's going to be 1,000 pages. We didn't want everybody to be able to get it all at once at the end. So everybody's had the different chapters. Now what's happening is we're having arguments with the parliamentarian and with the Congressional Budget Office on the scoring issues, that is the cost, and also whether it actually fits within the parameters of the law. Everybody calls it the Byrd Rule, but it's actually a law, whether it fits in the parameter of that. And we're having those arguments. That takes time. We don't have ball control at that point. They're making the decisions as fast as they make decisions. We're reviewing it. We'll get the text out, let everybody see it. So we hope tomorrow everybody gets a chance to be able to get the text, to review it. Then we'll have the first procedural vote. This is not the real vote. This is just, do we want to move forward then?
But I hear you, which is you're telling the truth, which we always appreciate. And we know you're an honorable man with a lot of character. I've known you a long time. But you're saying we hope we get there. And I know some of our viewers are going to say, you know, are the Senate Republicans not getting there? The president wants to get it done this weekend so you can get it back to the House for a final vote before July 4th. I get what you're saying, which is you got to do it right. You can't just jam it through. But are you still hopeful that things are on track, I guess?
Yeah, things are still on track. But at the end of a bill like this, there's always the back and forth with the parliamentarian. So in some ways, we don't have ball control on it at this point. We bring the ideas. They make the decisions. They come back. We then start reviewing it if we disagree, which several of the decisions we've disagreed with strongly. So we have to rewrite, bring it back, and to be able to do that again. So we're pushing to be able to get to that point. And we're going to just keep pushing to be able to get the work done.
All right. That's great. Last thing, the Supreme Court. Big day for the president, big day for the country, I think, right? I mean, you had all these liberal judges all around. They were cherry picking, as you know, Massachusetts and Maryland and all these liberal states to stop the president's agenda, the agenda you're pushing forward in the U.S. Senate. What does this mean for the country?
Yeah, there were several big cases. I want to hit just a couple of them you hadn't mentioned on that. One is Texas has made a decision to say minors can't see pornography on that. And the Supreme Court justice said, yeah, minors aren't required to be able to see pornography. That doesn't seem shocking. The other one was a school case to say, does the state know better than the parents? Can the state choose what happens to the education of a child? Or do the parents have a voice? And they determined, no, parents have a voice in the education of their children. That shouldn't seem shocking. But I'm grateful the Supreme Court lined up. And then this big one on nationwide injunctions to say, can an individual district court then block the president of the United States, or does that have to all the way to the Supreme Court? For 200 years, it was only the Supreme Court that could check the president. And then now in the last 50 years, it's been this growing district courts doing that. That ended today to say, nope, the Supreme Court makes national decisions, not some local federal judge.